World 10-ball champion Wojciech Szewczyk on the left, and former European 9-ball champion Sanjin Pelivanovich. This is the last 16, single elimination. The winner goes through and the loser is out. In the commentary booth for this match is myself, Tim de Ruyter, trying to explain all the action. And I think this could be a very close encounter. Both players on top of their game have been riding the wave for a couple of years now. Bunch of good results. Full-time professionals. Sanjin yesterday beating Maximilian Lechner in the last 32, including 9 breaker runs, I believe so. Don't think it was too far off. Wojciech Szewczyk having the better side on Jan van Lierop, the Dutchman, who didn't make it till the end, but played a good tournament as well, all the way through the loser bracket to get to the last 32. Szewczyk beat him 11-6. Now, the game is 9-ball. The 9-ball is racked on the spot, so it means a higher rack than usual. The 3-point rule is in effect, so has to get to 3 points combined by how many balls you make on the break or how many balls pass the line you see in the top side of the table, the kitchen line. So you make 1 ball on the break, you need 2 in the kitchen. If you make 2 balls on the break, you need 1 in the kitchen. If you make 3 balls on the break, you need none. Yeah, for example. So Sanjin did get to the table, chose not to play. Wojciech went for the push out, and now I think it's an okay safety shot here to roll up on the 9. Of course, it's a little bit scary to play it soft, especially on a table that's starting to get worn in. Yeah, also the shot clock is in effect, which makes pool a whole different ball game. 60 seconds after the break, 35 seconds per shot, and 1 extension per rack of 25 seconds. This 1 ball is on. I believe if he makes this, the 3 will be available, going twice the long rail back and forth. Yeah, nice opening shot. Still needs a little bit of work here on the 3 ball. Might have to run a little bit of a gamble towards the 8. Not much that can happen against you. Yeah, as you can see, a little bit of a gamble of where the cue ball was going to stop, but with him entering that positional area, he was always going to have a shot on the 4. And now it's back to the routine. Well, a little bit straighter on the 5. Think he can still go forward, but not a very natural angle. And then still we'll have to do some work from 7 to 8. As the 8 is frozen to the rail, so he's going to avoid shooting the 8 in the top right corner. He's most likely going to try and get close to the 7 and play the 7 and 8 in the same bottom right corner. As you can see, tried everything in his power to get to the top side of the 8. Just barely beat the scratch, but he's on the 8. A little bit more angle. I heard the venue is quite humid inside, weather conditions, so the table's a little bit more springy. So probably we'll have to cross over to play the 9 in the same corner as the 8. Unless he bounces back up. Oh. Actually, I think he understruck the cue ball there a little bit. Yeah, quite surprising mistake. Sanjin will be looking to play good safety. Get the distance, bring the 8 to the bottom short rail near the second diamond, the second dot on the rail. The cue all the way to the top side of the table. Well, got the left side covered, not the right side, but just by having the left side covered makes things a lot more difficult already for Wojciech. Yeah, and even though he can hit the 8, he's opting to go rail first, and I do like this play. If he catches it full, a lot of good things can happen. Just like this. Look at how well he's played this. Does he get cover behind the 9? I don't think so. I think he's left the 8 on, but that was a great effort from Szewczyk. Yeah, long and difficult shot. Needs a little trace of left to beat the scratch in the center pocket. Yeah, chose to put more into the cue ball, let the cue ball run a bit. We have to play another safety on the 9. We have to grind this game out. Oh wow, he just cut it in the side. What a shot there from Sanjin. Actually thought he was going to miss it on the thick side and send it to the top short rail, but he's played an excellent cut there on the 9 ball. And by doing so, he stole one of the 2 breaks of Wojciech. That's one thing I didn't go over yet, is the change they made. Usually, of course, we had the alternate break in the Eurotour, but they have changed it to alternate break per 2 racks. So each player gets 2 breaks. So Wojciech can make things alright if he wins the second one. Yeah, this is the break. Beautiful cue ball. Parked in the center of the table. 3 balls in. A little bit of a shot here on the 3 ball. Especially the work with the cue ball. Not exactly the pocketing the ball. Has to travel twice the long rail. Possibly also the top short rail. To get nice on the 4. But right after, it's laying really nicely. So this is a key shot. Yeah, due to a couple years of absence from quite a lot of players, most of the top players are actually not ranked at the moment. Wojciech currently ranked number 5 in the European ranking. Sanjin missed almost every event last year, so has no ranking. Well, I'm quite sure he'll be climbing the ladder after this tournament. It's not going to take long before he enters the top 16 again, and which is quite a big deal nowadays, being in the top 16. The organization, Predator and EPBF, they will be paying your expenses if you get there. Top 8, no, I'm not sure actually. Could be last 8 or last 16 in the men, and top 4, top 8 in the women. So obviously quite nice to have your trip paid and go out there and just enjoy and play for passion, you know. So I'm quite sure Sanjin will start to compete more in the Eurotour. As you see at the other table, Mario He and Alexa Petzelier currently at it. Great match as well. You can watch both matches at the same time. Just make sure you keep my volume on and turn down the others. No, I'm just kidding. Either way, but just glad for everyone that tuned in so far. This is the final day of the Predator Austrian Open, so the Open division. I believe the women's division starts today as well, and those will finish tomorrow. A little bit unfortunate there for Sanjin. One ball catching the side pocket point, and the 7 ball being stopped by the 4 just in front of the kitchen line. It didn't pass the line, so that means only 1 ball in and 1 ball passing the line. So control passes to the pole, who's facing a long one. Only has to stop the cue ball though, doesn't have to do much with the cue ball. I mean, if he could draw back maybe a ball or 2, not too much, but he's going to have a cut on the 2 ball anyways. Well, that is 1 hurdle. There will be a couple more hurdles actually. This 2 ball is a little bit of a hurdle. And then if you look on the 5 doesn't go past the 6. The orange 5 doesn't go past the green 6. Is he going to try and catch a piece of the 5 here? Yeah, nice spot, but I felt like he cut it just slightly thinner, on the thinner side of the pocket, and like I mentioned, the rails are a little bit fast. Those are just the weather conditions, which makes everything a little bit more responsive, a little bit more speed on the ball. Ooh, he's missed his kick. I'm a little bit surprised actually. Wasn't the most difficult kick to hit, at least. And like I said, with the 5 ball being quite locked, he can definitely use the ball in hand. He actually needed something like a ball in hand to be able to play the 5 off the rail or position himself perfect on the 5-6 combination. Yeah, nice little nudge. Still has to come up with somewhat of a shot here. More of a shot making thing. Doesn't have to do much with the cue ball. That's the good news. Yeah, certainly has been cueing well this week. Told Luke Riches in the interview that his game is definitely where he wants it to be. He's ready to get his first Eurotour title. Still a long way, of course. Needs to win 4 matches to do so. But you achieve what you believe. In this case, he looks very confident. Good temperament too. Has made a mistake already in this match and still staying quite calm, so good early signs from the Bosnian, who's taking the 3rd game here. It's a 2-1 lead, and he has another break. So for Wojciech winning the leg, he could be looking at an early deficit, 3-1, depending on how the next break is going. It's a race to 11, so we've got plenty of time. Yeah, throughout the match I will try to keep everyone updated on the other scores. Wow. All the other matches they have played in general for the 6 games. And Eurtotour is currently up 7-1 against Roman Hiebler. Eurtotour, who beat Joshua Filler yesterday in the last 32, 11-5. So surely he must be feeling very well. Must be running around the table. Anyhow, let's see what we have here. 2 balls in on the break. Plenty of balls passing the kitchen line, so definitely legal break. He's at the table. Straight in 3 ball. If he can get straight in on the 4, this layout is pretty favorable. Didn't get as much in the cue ball as he wanted to. A little bit jabby. But that's also a different thing, is that with the conditions of the table being slightly different, usually on the sliding cloth I would bet a lot of money that all these players can draw the cue ball straight down. But oh, look at the cue ball. But now if the cloth starts to get a little bit sticky, a little bit humid, that's where quite some players are starting to struggle with longer draw. And yeah, especially moving the cue ball around. So yeah, you can't really see it. So a little bit of work he did on the 4 to the 5, almost scratched. But afterwards, it's back in line. Maybe slightly too much angle on this 7 ball, knowing that the rail is going to bounce a bit more. Yeah, and that's why he's hit it thick. I truly believe that is a result of trying to hold the cue ball. Like he somewhere in his mind knew that the ball was gonna bounce off the rail a little bit more, and he had to hold it a bit, not to get too much angle on the 8. What a mistake there from Pelivanovich. That could cost him this game, but possibly with Wojciech breaking 2 more, he could retake the advantage in this match. So the score is being tied at 2. Wojciech has 2 breaks to find a gap, make a gap in the score line. Yeah, very similar to his second break on his first set of 2. Wing ball, 1 ball in, and then another ball following the wing ball. Almost perfect cue ball, not parked in the center of the table, but still nicely controlled. And tough opening shot here on the 3, just because if he goes forward, the cue ball will find the 8. If he stuns the cue ball, he's either on the scratch, or if he touches the 8, he's going to be far and maybe hooked on the 5. So I think he is still trying to go 2 rails, trying not to catch the 8, but so tough. Wow. He's played that very well. Very nicely avoided the scratch in the 8, got shape on the 5. He might be just a little too straight. So elevate to punch the cue ball to the top side of the 6, or just follow to play the 6 all the way in the top left corner, but quite sure 90-95% of the players would like to play this in the bottom left. They'd rather jack up on the 5 to have this shot than an easy 5 to play the 6 in the top left. Yeah, especially with how he's breaking, making 2-3 balls on the break. In 9-ball in general, it's all about, in general, 1 big shot, just like he played a 3-ball. And then after, usually it's just stay in line and, of course, handle the nerves. Yeah, so a textbook Run out for Szewczyk. Perfect break and run. It's looking to produce another one here. Time to turn the screws a little bit, get things a little bit tight on your opponent, just to see if you can maybe get like an early advantage, like a 7-3 ish. That would be very favorable, of course, towards the end. That's what Lechner tried to do yesterday on Sanjin as well. I think together of them, they definitely had like 15 breaker runs in a race to 11. So high quality. Sanjin survived, but if Szewczyk keeps breaking like this, things could get real tough. Lost the cue ball a slight bit though, dug a little deeper in the cue ball. It will be interesting to see what he plays here on the 1. He's made 2 balls on the break, the 1 and the 4 in the kitchen, so definitely legal. Has a cut in the side, but this is very missable. Because the more pace you play on the 1, the higher the chances are to rattle the 1, because if it hits one of the knuckles, it's out. If you have to play this a little softer, it's always scary on the stroke. Oh, he's going for it. There's really not much more on the defensive side, so I understand, but difficult shot again. Yeah, great shot there. Now needs one more good shot here. Not exactly pocketing the 3 ball, but especially running the cue ball 2 rails to the center of the table. If he gets nicely on the 4, everything else is laying really, really nice to get a 2-game window early on in the match. As you can see, perfect on the 8. The 9 is near, so don't let yourself get distracted by Yeah, still quite a bit of work to do. As you can see, the 4 a little bit covered by the 6. Does go in the left center, but has to make sure he has a good angle to stun the cue ball up table on the 5 from the 4. So 2 rail shape here. 1 rail will leave you the wrong angle. 2 rails, it's easier to fall in that angle, but might have got straight, yeah. The only thing he can do is probably run forward and take more cuts on the 5, or is he able to still get past the side? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of going forward actually, but if it's the only option he has. And now that is a very surprising miss. Wasn't the toughest of shots, but he was so trying to get the cue ball easier on the 5 ball. And then now easy safety for Sanjin. That really laid up easy. So a good save. Let's see, I think he's got every kick covered here. Will be difficult to hit the 4. It was a great try actually. Got very close to hit the 4. Pushed a couple of balls over, but I still think all the balls are available to the bottom left. So it's a run out opportunity for Sanjin. Just a little bit of traveling possibly on the 6 to 7. Just because the 8 is in between. Yeah, definitely tricky shot here. I think it will be difficult actually to not hit the 8. And if you draw away from the 8, the scratch could be near in the left center. So a little bit of a finesse shot here. Yes, you could see a very smooth, soft kill stroke on the ball. Can be so difficult. These kind of conditions when you're not feeling so well. Ooh, that just barely dropped in. As you could see, the pockets are not grabbing that much anymore. Like this one was close to stay up. Yeah, he did still win his first break of the 2. But he needed a little bit of help there from Szewczyk. 4-3, the Pole still leading. Now this time 3 balls in on the break. I actually would have loved to see the 2 ball stay up, but it did go down the drain. The 4 and the 9 tied up, and really no future at all on this. Much better break than the previous one. Now, is there a little... He's called a 9 ball just in case. I was thinking he might be able to go over the right side and bring the cue ball 3 rails to the left side of the 8. Like a safety shot. 3 rail safety shot. We're going on the 9 here. Probably bring the cue ball all the way back. Oh, he's made the 4. Look at this. Quite sure he wasn't trying to make the 4 in that corner. Didn't really get the shape on the 5, so we're still back to playing safe. But now, if he nicks the 5 ball and brings the cue ball all the way back down table, could be a difficult position for Wojciech. Yeah, just a couple balls short of getting the cue ball underneath the 7. Nonetheless, difficult position for Wojciech, who's now trying to bring the cue ball back underneath the 7-8. Most likely leaving a jump on the 5 ball, but at least there will be a long one. Wow, what a beauty of a shot. Nicely spotted there. That's quite some knowledge actually. Knowing how the table is going to react. Because if the table was playing slick, there was no way on this planet that he could have played this. So he's played an excellent kick and stick behind the 6. Sanji now with the return. He's found the window. Yeah, I'm not saying this was one he's supposed to hit. But as you can see on his face, I think we both expected him to hit the 5 ball. So control goes back to Wojciech, who, if he clears up here, has 2 breaks coming up right after. So he could be starting to chase a big lead. Yeah, a little bit surprised actually. Still thought he was able to play low left and get to the 7. So probably he's going to bank the 7, but surely missable, quite the cut. Oh, he really let the cue ball go there, low left, beautiful shape on the 8. That was a big shot. Protecting his 2-game lead he had. Excellent cross-side bank on the 7 from Wojciech Szewczyk. And straight in on the 9, so it's going to be 5-3 and the pole breaking twice. Who knows what's coming? So timeout has been called by Sanjin Pelivanovich, possibly trying to slow Wojciech down a bit, especially seeing the bank shot on the 7. You might have thought, you know, maybe I want him to be in his chair for 4 or 5 minutes before he gets to break the balls twice. You never know, can stir things up. As you can see on the other table, we do have Alexa Pachel and Mario Hay also involved in a big battle. Score now 4-3 Alexa. 2 balls on the table, so possibly 5-3. So similar scoreline as our match. On the other tables, basically all the matches still running, still a long way to go, except for the one, Eurtotour. He's up 10-2 against Roman Hiebler. Wow, such a surprise. I don't think many people have heard of him. Now if you look at the other tables, Felix Vogel leading 7-4 over fellow countryman Tobias Bongers. Alvaro Canoniga, he's trailing 5-6 against Mieszko Fortunski. Mieszko had a great performance on the TV table yesterday, so he's definitely making a run for it, the Spaniard. Now Ralph Souquet and Luca Men tied at 3. Oliver Zolnocki, the Hungarian, he's up 6-2 against Poland's Mariusz Skoneczny. And last but not least, Stefan Kasper, the man showing high form, finished 2nd and 3rd in the last 2 Eurotour events. He's currently leading 6-4 against Mohamed Soufi, the former World 9-ball runner-up. So, as you can see or hear, all these matches quite close, except for 2 matches. 7-2 Oliver against Marius and 10-2 Turku and Hiebler. But we still have a long way to go. Let's have a little look at this match here on table 1. In the meantime, we'll be waiting for Sanjin to come back. 5-3 leading Alexa, and probably a safety here behind the 9. Yeah, such a difficult shot at times. Not easy to kill the cue ball perfectly. Especially being jacked up. I think with a level cue wasn't the toughest, but being jacked up, the aiming is always a little tougher. So, an opening shot for Mario on the 1 ball. Let's see if he can turn things around. And as you can see, Sanjin is back. So we'll get to see Wojciech to break the balls in the next 2 games. Is he able to break a run 2 out of 2 like he just did and put himself into a 7-3 lead? Or will we see things backfire on him and will we see the score go 5 each? Well, he did catch the break quite a lot fuller than he usually does. Did not make the wing ball, made the 1 in the side and a random ball in the opposite side pocket, the 8. Still 2 balls passing the kitchen line and he's got shape on the 2. The 3 ball does go to the bottom right corner. So I'm expecting him to play this to the corner, stunning into the rail and out, and then a slight angle on the 3 ball to get to the 4. Yeah, nicely done. This is one of those layouts where you make one good shot on the 2. This 3 ball is laying nice, stun into the rail and out, guarantees angle. Maybe a little bit of shape on the 5 to make sure you get to the 6, but in general, he only had to play one good shot, and that was the 2 ball. So yeah, if you make 2-3 balls on the break, they can run 7, maybe 6 balls. But we've seen strange things happen. Sanjin missing an easy 7 or quite decent 7 ball, but we've seen a similar thing happen for Wojciech. So you just never know what's gonna come up. 2-row shape to the 6 ball. Trying to get close to straight. As you can see, super difficult to spread the speed out of the cue ball. I think he's landed really nicely there. Quite a draw needed on the 7. Yeah, controlled it very nicely, but you can see how much effort he actually put into the ball to see, well, the cue ball traveling just a slight bit. That's really not saying his stroke is bad. He actually has a really big stroke, but more saying the conditions are a little bit different than usual. And that's the thing with the Eurotour as well, is that you just really have to learn to adapt to the conditions. They will have the same equipment, predator tables, new cloth. They will have this every tournament, but now if the one venue is really hot or the other venue is really sticky, or it's very cold, like there's just multiple conditions which will definitely alter the outcome. So far, I have to say Wojciech is adjusting pretty fine. Nice breaker run just now, so that means he has 3 breaker runs now, or at least in the last 3 breaks for him he's had 3 breaker runs. Can he produce another one? 6-3 now. Szewczyk leading. Yeah, did catch the break a little thinner. One ball did hang up and stayed in front of the side pocket, but the cue ball went the other side of the table. So there's no cut in the side, and I don't think the one ball does go to the corner unless... No, he's full on the scratch. That cue ball will go right into the side pocket. Yeah, pretty difficult position actually to be in. A little bit fortunate there not to leave something on the 1, in my opinion. Just because the 1 was never going to get out and the cue ball was supposed to be on the bottom short rail, I feel like. But on the other side, I think Sanjin should be just happy to get to the table. Always try to make the best of it. Well, created an opportunity for himself and really needs to get this game on the board. I feel like when we go 7-3, 8-4, I think things will get real tough for Sanjin. Not saying he will never be able to come back, but things will get real tough. If he can stick, you know, just like 1-2 games difference, his odds will be way better, and I wouldn't be too worried with just a couple games. So when you get like 4 or 5 games difference, good news is he only needs to play a little bit of draw, then 2-roll shape from 6 to 7. Did put himself slightly straighter, so we'll have to go forward, possibly again 2 rails, top left spin. I was thinking about going top right over the left side of the table. There it is, 6-4. Managed to steal a rack from Wojciech. I mean, difficult position for Wojciech to be in after the break. Making 2 balls, not a real shot on the 1. Yeah, Sanjin did play a nice steady bank shot on the 1. Was close to hitting the 9 ball first. So he took a little bit of a gamble there, but he also knew that he can take a little bit of a risk. He was down, needed to steal that game kinda bad. So he played a nice bank shot on the 1 and ran the game, so 6-4. Still, the 2 breaks coming up from Sanjin could mean we could be tied at 6 in 5 to 10 minutes. So let's see. Would like to catch the break a little thicker. Last time he overcut the break. Yeah, looking much better. The second he turned around, he was thinking, oh, that's 6 ball, because it was awful close to block the cue ball for a shot on the 2. But he's got the shot on the 2. 2 balls in, plenty of balls, of course, past the head string, so no doubt that this is a legal break. Just needs to get the shape on the 4 to play in the right center. Yeah, it did get absolutely perfect on the 4, maybe a little bit on the rail, but is maneuvering the cue ball really nicely at the moment. Actually surprised he's looking at playing the 6 in the center. Could go with top left and let the cue ball go play the 6 in the top right. Especially with the little speedier rails to hold the cue ball in these positions. It's not always the easiest. But like I said, both gentlemen are handling the conditions really well. Also, they handle the conditions well, but I think they handle themselves quite well. He's going to try and get at least close to the 8. That way he doesn't have to put such a big stroke on the 8 to draw back for the 9. So near the side pocket, that's preferred. Yeah, he's not happy. He was really trying to get straighter on the 8. I think with how the table is bouncing, yeah, I don't think he's able to bring the cue ball back with low left. He's still going to try, but could be near the side. Look at this stretch, and he's miscued. Yeah, what has he done there too? Why not get the bridge out? This is fascinating. I mean, I'm flabbergasted right now. Just by just the whole stretch, like all over the table. What a mistake. Could be a very costly mistake. Szewczyk going all in on the cut. Let the cue ball go. No, he even checked it off the top short rail. What a shot. He's about to steal this game. He's, in my opinion, never supposed to even get back to the table here. What a turnaround. For a second I was thinking, you know, 6-5. We could really end up 6-6 or 7-7. Yeah, 7-4. Yeah, a little bit of frustration there for Sanjin. I mean, in the end, he did not get the ideal shape from 7 to 8. Couldn't reach it. Probably the time got him there too, because he's, you know, trying to reach the ball. Possibly the referee told him you have 10 seconds left. But painful mistake from the Bosnian. Yeah, great break. Look at the one. Does it shape up? I think it has landed nicely though. If you can see, just because of this slight angle, there's no risk of the double hit, striking the cue ball twice, because he's cutting the one ball just slightly. So the cue ball's moving to the right before the stroke is going more forward. Sure, we will see him get close to the cue ball, making sure the stroke doesn't go all the way. As you see, a little short stroke. It's guaranteed to be on the 2. The only thing is he actually came up too short. Now he will have to travel a lot more with the cue ball. Don't think he can hold the cue ball there to cut the 3 ball in. Yeah, that 2 ball just slid in, caught it thick. Means the cue ball had less speed as well. Let's see, is he going to try and kill this 3 ball with left spin? Low left, yeah, it looks like it. Sensitive shot. And even then, if you look at the cue ball, just tables are just so fast. Yeah, we'll have to draw at least a diamond back. I think I would prefer maybe a little bit more, but this is asking a lot of your technique as well. Yeah, nicely done. As you see, he's straight on the 5, so I would say just get past the center of the table. Like, you don't want to overscrew and scratch in the corner, but my target would be just to get past the center. And anything else, if I get straight on the 6 is okay. If I get some angle on the 6 is okay. Ooh, he did cheat the pocket just a little bit. And the cue ball ran a little bit more towards the 6. I'm not sure if he can reach. And it's a thin cut, so he will have to run the cue ball around. Well, he must have something against the bridge, against the rest. Because he is putting himself in all kinds of funny positions, body positions. Now this time, looks like he's playing safe. And I'm not sure if this will be enough. I don't think so. There's a cut. And with Wojciech being 7-4 up, knowing that this is Sanjin's break, I would say, yeah, sure, let's have a little risk. You know, if you make it, you're 8-4 and you're breaking twice. If you miss, well, you were supposed to lose this game anyways. Sanjin was supposed to run out, and it's his break. So this moment, yeah, I like to go aggressive. Oh, he's played it perfect. Ginned it. Absolutely perfect. Yeah, tough times for Sanjin. I for a second thought he was going to climb back into this match. Started off slightly better than Wojciech, but it just shows how tough of a customer this Pole can be. Yeah, now 8-4. Wojciech Szewczyk in the lead. Does have 2 breaks. 2 successful breaks could mean a 10-4 lead. Very interesting. Wojciech now taking his time out, probably knowing that Sanjin is a little bit frustrated. Obviously, he's made 2 mistakes in 2 games now. So he's taking a little break. Also possible a restroom break, of course. It's not only the mental aspect of the game. When you gotta go, you gotta go. So let's see the other scores. Mario Her currently leading 7-5 over Alexa Perchelia. 2 matches finished already. Felix Vogel, the youngster from Germany, beat Tobias Bongers 11-5. He's through to another quarterfinal. Great stuff from the young Vogel. The Birdman. And Eurtotour 11-2 against Roman Hiebler. That's a big result too. In the meantime, also Oliver Zolnocki 10-2 up against Mariusz Konechny. Stefan Kasper 8-5 up against Mohamed Soufi. Ralph Souquet kind of ran away with the set. The score was tied 3 each. Is now 7-3 for Der Kaiser against Luca Men. And the same goes for Mieszko Fortunski. Was pretty close with Alvaro Canoniga from Spain. And now 8-5. Still a long way to go and plenty more action to come. So make sure you stay tuned on all our social media channels. We're on every channel available. And of course here on Pro Billiard TV, make sure you stay subscribed. Because we will have plenty more events coming. 2 events in Indonesia this year, or actually more events, but I'm saying 2 weeks of action in Indonesia. We will be in Vietnam this year, and to close out the year we will have an event in the US, Jacksonville. So definitely a lot of action coming, and I'm quite sure all the viewers would be wanting to see it all unfold. So as you can see, Wojciech just came back from his break, from his timeout. Sanjin looking over at Alexa's table, his buddy, both from the Balkan. So in the recent years, Balkan started to produce excellent players, with now 2 of them in the last 16 of the Eurotour. It's a 215 players, I believe, event. So to have 2 Balkan players in the last 16 is pretty strong for a region where maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago there were not as many top players. The only real player I know from back in the day were maybe Vilmos Foldes from Hungary and Sander Tot, I believe is Serbian. I might be completely wrong there. Hopefully I don't get a lot of haters for that. But I'm more saying those were maybe the most known players back in the day. So just saying, a new generation is coming for the Balkan. Now, 2 balls in on the break. Did catch the break full though. The cue ball tracking above the side pocket. That's the reason why it ended up all the way to the top short rail. And he did get hooked behind the 8. So he's looking at playing a tricky kick shot here on the 2. He's looking to kill the cue ball behind the 5. But I'm not sure if the 2 ball has a way past the 6-9. played a good cue ball to get behind the 5 ball, but like I said, that 2, I don't think it was really going to get further than this. So I did make the long 2 ball. Now the 6-9 combinations you can see is pretty wired. But then again, the place where he's pointing on at the table on the cloth, I'm not very sure if that's, if you're capable to make the 5 and kill the cue ball to hold it there. So if I would be trying to play that position on the springy rails, I probably would go twice the long rail to get back to the center of the table. Yeah, that's what he's played. I think he's very close. This is kind of a must. Putting on the big grind, the huge grind here, Sanjin, to still make something happen in this match. So 8-5. Wojciech does still have one more break, so he could still be looking at a 9-5, but if he manages to make it 8-6, that's the thing, like when you're in your chair you should not be thinking, oh, he's gonna make 9-5. You could be thinking, you know, hopefully he has a dry break, or hopefully something happens. I might have a chance to close the gap, you know. Back in the day with just a regular alternate break, we would have this thing where you would be down 4 games or sometimes 6 games, and the only thing you would be thinking is, you know, it's only 2 times hooked after the break for him, or 2 dry breaks from him and I'm back. Or 3, depends on the lead, of course. So it's all about staying fresh in the head, putting the right thought into the process. Well, this time he did catch the break better than last time, just the cue ball being bumped. And this is what I mean. So now cue ball being bumped, gets no shot after the break. 2 balls in. This is exactly what Sanjin wants to happen. So push out to a long 2 ball. I'm guessing he's going to play for the overcut. No, he went for the shot. Well, it's a little bit of both. I mean, if he misses it on the long rail, it's a save. The only thing you gotta make sure is you focus on bringing the cue ball all the way back. And if you make it or you get the save, it's okay. So now, by making the 2, It's kind of forced to take on the 3-ball as well. Yeah, excellent cueing from Sanjin. 2 extremely difficult shots there. Cue ball glued to the rail on the 2. And then that 3-ball, especially having to play that speed on the 3, you know that if you fail to pocket the 3-ball, you probably sell out the game. So he has to pick up the pieces here. This means if he would get out here, he would have survived 2 breaks from Wojciech. And then he has 2 breaks coming. You know, it's a very possible scenario that we could go to 8 each. Even 9-7 would be alright from how much Sanjin was down. But the longer he can keep Wojciech on 8, the more ideal. Because even if Wojciech would get his own 2 breaks, he would not be able to finish the match. I'll never doubt it to bring the cue ball back down table to play the 9 in the same corner. A little bit more cut on the 9, but should be fine. Should be 8-6. Yeah, in it goes. 8-6. Excellent grind from the Bosnian, who just survived 2 breaks of Szewczyk. Now he will be breaking twice. The thing is, with the pool gods, you just never know whether they are starting to like you or they're starting to punish you. So in this case, I think it's a little bit gambling sometimes on the break. Surely, if you catch it a little bit too thick or too thin, it changes the outcome. But still, there is that slight bit of luck after the break. Oh, this could be the first dry break of the match. No, the 8 does go. Ooh, that was close. That was nervy. Yeah, you could see on his reaction there. He's definitely not happy with how he struck the break. I think it was a little bit punchy. It wasn't smooth. Wasn't a nice square hit. Actually fortunate to still be at the table, making the 8 and the 1 and the 6 crossing the kitchen line for a legal break. Well, does come up with a good shot here. Now, the reason why I said a good shot is because if you can see, the 5 and the 6 are in between, so there's no easy jump, at least. Sure, Wojciech can go over the short rail and hit the 1, but Sanjin was in a little bit of a position, a little bit of a tough spot there. Oh, caught the 1 ball twice. Does he get a little roll? Yeah, I don't think he can complain about the outcome. On the other side, Sanjin can push. Well, he could go aggressive and make the 1 in the top right corner, but Could also roll up on the 5 and just wait. Or like a soft stop shot, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you have to tie the screws on your opponent a little bit more, taking less risk yourself and making sure your opponent starts to struggle. And I think that's what Sanjin is doing the last 2 games. He really grinded his way through the racks. Not as much breaker runs, but more, or run out pool. More of a tactical battle, trying to get the advantage and then run out. Don't think he's gonna hit this soft. He's going to try. If he doesn't make it, he's going to try and get distance. Oh, look at this for a result. He's hit it really well. But this is what I meant also. Like, sometimes the game is just going to go like this, and it can be sickening. And it's such a pivotal moment as well, you know. 8-6, one more mistake from Wojciech. We could be tied at 8. And from there, only a race to 3. It's a coin flip. Either side, I feel like. So is he... Just wondering, he has the jump cue out. He's going for a jump kick on the 1. A little bit of magic here, possibly. No, no magic. It's ball in hand. Yeah, as you can see, the red 3 ball doesn't go in the bottom right past 7. So he needed a nice angle on this 2, which he has, to drop in between the 3-7. Shooting this to the top right corner, landing in between the 5 and the 4. What has he done there? What has he done there? Yeah, I think he locked himself on the 5. Wow, this is unbelievable. Actually think over the short rail. The 5 is blocking a piece of the short rail too. He's running out of time. Actually, it's not a bad hit, and I think he's going to be just fine. 7 ball blocking the 4. A little smile there from Sanjin. I mean, it's a good hit. He chose one side to hit the 4. Played it with decent pace. It's actually a good shot from Wojciech, considering that he just messed up. He was running out of time. Queuing over the 5. I think he's played a really good shot there. But also a good return from Pelivanovich. Let's see. To go 2 rails, it's a really small fine window in between the rail and the 4. So probably nick the 4 and play more pace. Go directly into it. He's got the distance. But as you can see, Sanjin is going all in on this. Just happy to get back to the table at least. He's hung the 4. Did he leave a window in between the 5-7? Nonetheless, there is a jump shot, but if it goes directly, painful for Sanjin. So has to kill the cue ball a bit. Has to be careful not to put too much into the cue ball. Yeah, I have to say weather conditions in western side of Europe, quite hot weather. But also, it's supposed to be storming in the next couple days. So these conditions, obviously, humidity will rise, sticky because of the hot weather as well. I don't think I've seen any table on the planet playing well under those conditions. You know, that's just a piece of pool. You know, that's something you have to learn how to play under these conditions, and it's not easy. But I have to say, Wojciech is managing really well. Not too many missed opportunities. So that's 9-6 on the board. Szewczyk, and yeah, you can see the disappointment in Sanjin's body language. I mean, he still has another break. He was up yesterday against Max Legner, 9-7, similar scoreline. Max broke and ran twice, and then Sanjin sealed the deal. But just saying, sometimes it's you being in the driver's seat, being up 9-7, and sometimes it's the other way around. It's basically the same odds. So yeah, you cannot be always the one up front, but it's such a small margin to still win the match. Ooh, that wing ball originally was not trying to go. It did go though. One ball traveling all around the table, and look at how nicely it stopped over the corner. So best thing he can do here is break a run, go to his chair and pray for anything funny to happen on Wojciech's break. A dry break, illegal break. Ooh. I think he's just fine to play draw on the 2. Would like to be a little closer on the 3 ball. Now, would like to stay off the rail a bit. If he gets frozen to the rail, could be nasty. That's why, as you could see, he was cheating the pocket there, catching the right long rail still, with pocket speed. I think this is key shot for now. Could go stun right, 2 rails towards the 5, could also go with top left. Most of the players like the stun right, because it gives a natural throw on the 4. And in this case, I think you could have spread the pace a little better. The table is fast, so if you go 2 rails, I think it's easier to spread out the speed of the cue ball. And he's ran too far. Is he going aggressive for the bank? I think he is. This is a big shot. Wojciech made one of those earlier. Low left spin, drawing the cue ball around for the 7. Wow, Sanjin nails it. I mean, if you think about it, one more mistake brings Wojciech on the hill and him breaking twice. So there was quite some pressure on that bank. He's played it perfect. Still a little bit of work on the 7. Does have angle, so we'll have to stun the cue ball 2 rails to the center again. Oh, he's missed the 7. Look, he was trying to bring the cue ball around 4 or 5 rails. 4 rails. Yeah, this is costly. Knowing that Wojciech has 2 breaks coming means he only needs one of the 2 breaks, basically 1 break run, if he clears this. Let's not get ahead of myself. Wow, what a miss on the 7 ball. Yeah, nice and straight on the 8. Needs small draw to get to the 9. And then this 9 ball to bring the match to 10-6 lead, and on the hill. One more rack remaining for Wojciech Szewczyk to get to the quarterfinals. Now then, are we going to see another tail to the story? Is there something that could stop Wojciech from finishing this match to where we see Sanjin win the next 2, break a run his own 2? Or is Wojciech going to close out the match? 2 balls. Yeah, it does have a shot on the 2. It's very close and nearby, but I feel like he can cut this in and bring the cue ball to the top right corner on the 3 ball. 3-4 rail shape. Now if you look at the 8, the 8 is blocked pretty much by the 9 to go to the bottom right, so it only does go to the top right or the bottom left. So not a very easy layout to close out the match. But I'm sure he's happy to see this opportunity come by. Top right spin on the 2. Oh, he's overcut it. Ooh. Ooh, Sanjin is down real quick. A little bit surprised actually, because if Sanjin would grind this out a little bit more, this really could turn into 10-9, 10-8 minimum. A little bit of luck. Might be him in the other side. Might be him in the quarters. How is the cue ball? Does he get behind the 7? Oh, it's close. I mean, if he did not get behind the 7, he can make the 3. If he always has a stop shot behind the 6, I believe so. Jump cue out. Let's see, does he go aggressive to make the 3 ball, to pocket the ball? Or does he just play a straight stop shot behind the 6? That's what he did. Almost made the 3 ball 2 rails, and I don't think... Yeah, he did not get the save. Another chance for the Bosnian, who is again dropping down on the shot pretty fast. Oh, nice shot. Needs another one though. This one requires more stroke. Crossover from the 5 to the 6. Yeah, and he's missed the 5. Yeah, actually grinded all through the match. Surely has made some mistakes, but kinda stayed close to Wojciech. But in the last couple of games, he's missed quite some opportunities, just like this one. Yeah, as clean as a whistle. Straight into the corner. Has to set himself up nicely. Does have a perfect angle on the 6 to leave himself the angle into the long rail on the 7 to go 2 rails to the 8. This should be done unless there are some nerves. Would have liked to have a little more angle possibly, but still able to do some traveling 2 rails to get to the 8. This is looking really good. On the other table, Mario Hay and Alexa currently at it. 9 each, 10-9, so close match as well on there. So that's it for this match. Wojciech Szewczyk gets through to the quarterfinal. Oh, he's gonna show off a little bit on this 9. He advances 11-6 over Sanjin Pelivanovich. So that was it for this match.